mau te whiwhia te whaatalo whātu le mai mō whaafonga mai tutui le mamanua ia le nei fo I whaenga le whiawhi ia I se whaapoponga fōfu e le tātou porklame le neo le manuo ia le tuuina sa atu e lau whane televisa le KVZKTV. Whea lava le whaenga le koe lope na e te maua mai le tātou porklame le neo le manuo ia whaatalo whātu. Good evening and talo falava American Samoa. Welcome to our manual program for this evening. Before we delve into the rest of our program this evening, let's have a look at what's coming up tonight on the news. Ole taona le lale na mawai se whaatataranoanga lau KVZK ia ma le susunga ia Mark Lively le tusia le ato le whalefono America Samoa mai mo mai le whiawhinei tātou talafou o le a awina tuai se si au telenga o le ripoti. O le a whiawhinei I le tāo le fitu le o le a mataria ai le tauvanga o le tauvanga tausala ia lea e whaatautaia I Samoa tuto tasi le Pasifika ia mai mo mai la whiawhinei toi mo toi si si au telenga o le ripoti. Ia usi mai loa lau mai moa inisi neo tātou whaalinga leo mawhai o na tauru mai ia le tātou porklame nei vaenga o le whiawhi. Whaasisilanga ia o le whono tamatua ia Malisi. The Marist Brothers Crusader Alumni Association will hold a general meeting on Friday, February 3rd, 2023 at 5 p.m. at the home of Tavita and Patricia at Tautai Rentals in Uli. Official weigh-in to be taken immediately following the meeting. Thank you. Signed by Monsignor Vianney Tuale. O le si tātou whaasisilanga leo mwhainu tauru mai, o le whaasisilanga mai lea onga mawalunga a Leone High School. Leone High School students report card pick-up on Thursday, February 2nd, 2023 and Friday, February 3rd, 2023 from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the school cafeteria. O leo le atu tufaina I reporti o le afa tausanga a onga walo mwhanau a le a onga tūlanga lua a le Leone High School. I le aso tofi Februari lua whelua tolu, aso wharaile Februari tolu whelua tolu. I o teimi whaatūlanga ina lo I sau I nei le tātou whaatisilanga renei, o le tasi le awoli se ia pa ia le wha ia whiawhi, no whanga masani le whale aia le aonga. Sainia e Patrick Danielson o le aonga mawalunga Leone High School. E o le tātou whaatisilanga mulimuli lea na taunu mai I le tātou porklame nei vaenga o le whiawhi, e o le whaasisilanga nei mai le matanga luenga tautua ma la manuia mō tangata lautele, le Department of Human and Social Services. The following is the schedule of mass insurance of benefits to approved ASNAP participants in the first 10 business days of February 2023. Date Friday, February 3rd, 2023, letter N, O, P, Q, and R. Monday, February 6th, 2023, letter S. Tuesday, February 7, 2023, letter T. Wednesday, February 8, 2023, it's letter U, V, W, X, Y, Z, or C. Thursday, February 9, 2023, is letter A. Friday, February 10, 2023, is letter P, C, D, and E. Monday, February 13, 2023, is letter F. And Tuesday, February 14, is 2023, letter G, H, I, J, K. Parents who missed their assigned day to retrieve summer PEPT benefits, welcome to come in between 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. starting Wednesday, February 1st, 2023 to retrieve their children's benefits. Last day to retrieve summer PEPT benefits is April 14th, 2023. A reminder, all summer PEPT food coupons will expire on April 30th, 2023 this year. E o nisi nao whaalinga lea to whai o na taunu mai le tātou porklame nei vaenga o le whiawhi ia ausi mai loa lau mai moa e nisi nei o aso whanau maso soifua lea o mawhai o na taunu mai le tātou porklame nei vaenga o le whiawhi. Whamnianga o le aso whanau singhi whine aso sa vainaia o le aso lea e atoai le lua se fulo na tukusanga e pule lofa le tātou tapa au le langi fo i antu nisi aso stele ia te oe leuso ia wa fo ilo whenga I mga luenga ma le tukusinga o ainga. O le asole na atoai le tolu se fulu tausanga o le soifua o le ato ta noa ia pule lofa le tātou tapa au le langi fo i antu nisi aso stele ia ma le malosi ia whapopo I lo wola soifua lungo le nei funga ele tu mau alo whaanga mai o ainga ma wo uma ia tutu pamau ma nei Amerika Samoa. Alo whaanga mo sailele welese o le so le na atuai lu fulfau na tusanga ia lofa le tatu tapa au sidi le langi po ia tulisi aso tele mo oe le uso e wan foi lo fenga i manga luenga tau singo ainga lo faanga mai ia wo mai pele ia tulu mau e fa pe po isamo tu tasi e onisi na o tatou aso fanau aso soifua lea na mawhai ona taunu mai le tatou po klame de nei vai ngola fiafi e manatua a whai e nisi a whaalinga ia o aso whanau maso soifua e te mana o e awinatu le tatou po klame de nei ia ona awina mai lea i le tatou email le kvzkpsa@gmail.com po o le tatou numero telefoni o le ono tolu lu o fitu ia e mawhai e ona awinatu ia lo waso whanau ia ponisi fo i o whaasi le silanga ia wan fo i le longlonga puiri o le tātou tunuu ia i mea fo i o lo tutupu i nei le territory. E a leo le a vavai fo i o le tātou por klamere nei vai ngole fiafi a toe tili mai on awinatu lo lea le se whaatalanoanga le awhionga ia li loma iawa tōsi mai atupua ia manisi fo i o tōtino mai Nebraska Poison Center leo le a taranoi nai ia nisi fo i o tūlanga ia pe a whai ua maue oe pe te ova foi ia whala au te taumawhaina ia leo le a awinatu ia i le whaatatarananga le nei pe atoe te lumai le tātou por klame i le nei vai ngone fiafi.
Sau seita, tia 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 lauta vale, mapa alongo i pese o le radio. Sau seita, tia 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 lauta vale, sau seita, eva eva aneio. Tia 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 lauta vale, mafa alongo i pese o le radio. Sau seita, tia 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 lauta vale, ma sau seita eva eva aneio. Sulu sulu lele manue, sulu sulu lele manue, sale la siva sale la siva le manue, solo solo le manue, solo solo le manue, sale la siva le manue, sale la siva le manue.
E te whaatalo whātu le tui mai o le tātou proclame le nei vaenga o le fiafi ma lo le tātou tunuu tali tonu sa solonga le nei fo i aso i whiau mga ruenga sa whenga iai. Ia pento sisila mai o levo tui malo tia le mātou ofisa wa i nisi o tātou malo o nā malanga mai Amerika. Ia lela mātou tala no ato te sai fo i le mafuanga nai lai o na lātou malanga mai le tunuu. Talofa once again, and good evening, and welcome back to the continuation of our Manawa program for this evening. As you can see, we are very pleased to have here with us in the studio Mrs. Kathy Chekabitz, who is the director of the Nebraska Regional Poison Center. We also have Jen Hroda and Angie Pasho, who are joining us here tonight to discuss everything about poison. The fact of the matter is, I have never heard about this amazing work that they're doing, but we're very happy to have this opportunity that we'll be able to talk about everything and the reason why they're here. Welcome to Manuel. It's great to have you here with us in the studio. Kathy, perhaps I should start with you. If you can just give us a quick outlook of what brings you to the territory, and and then we'll take it from there.
Right. Thank you very much. We really appreciate this opportunity. We're very happy to be here in your beautiful island, and we are here to raise awareness of an important service that we can provide to families. We're the Nebraska Regional Poison Center, And we are the Poison Control Center for everyone who would need us in your beautiful territory of American Samoa. We have a toll-free phone number, which is 1-800-222-1222, that anyone can call. And we have nurses, registered nurses, trained in toxicology, who are standing by, ready to take your call. If you have any type of poisoning exposure, whether it be you splashed a chemical in your eye, for example, maybe you swallowed something, a cleaning product, bleach, for example, or took too much of your medication, you can give us a call and our nurses can provide immediate assistance to you and many times help manage that situation right there in your home so that you wouldn't necessarily have to go to the hospital. But if you need to go to the hospital, then our nurses would advise you on that and tell you, do you need to call 911? Can you safely take your loved one to the hospital? This is the type of assistance that we can provide.
Fantastic. As I've mentioned, I've never heard of that this service is available. And I'm glad that we get to have this conversation. Tell me, so when you get calls like this, does it go directly to your office, or do you have an office here or people here that are able to assist on the ground?
That's an excellent question. Yes, when you call that toll-free number, the call routes directly to our Poison Control Center office, which is located in Omaha, Nebraska. And that's where we have 24 hours a day, we have nurses that take the calls. But we do communicate closely with the healthcare facilities here in American Samoa. For instance, if we, after talking with a family member, determine that the person should go to the hospital, then we will call LBJ Medical Center. And we have a relationship with those physicians and nurses there. And we will let them know that you're coming to the hospital, and then we assist them. We actually guide them on the care of the poisoning, depending upon what it is. We will provide the treatment advice to the physicians.
I was listening to you, and the thing that comes to mind is a language barrier. How can we overcome that? How can we get over that hurdle in case someone rings and English is not good in a way? Would you be able to guide them and perhaps refer them back to your location here, if that makes sense?
Yes, that's also a great question. It's something we wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of, that we do have a 24/7 language line, so we can quickly get an interpreter within a matter of minutes on the line with us, and they do have Samoan interpreters. And then they would be, on the phone call with us, so they would translate. So we would still be able to provide that information over the phone.
Excellent. So tell me, what sort of poison are we talking about here? You mentioned bleach. Anything else? What's a common one?
A common one would be something like Tylenol. Somebody accidentally took too much. Maybe they had a bad headache and they forgot they had taken it. They take a double dose of something like Tylenol or their own prescription medications, for instance. And we're available. We can immediately help them out with that.
Jen, can I bring you in? Famulmoles, please, by the way. One of the common things here is that people, not everyone, but those that I've spoken to, some have taken a lot of the antibiotics, for instance, and they don't know that they're allergic to antibiotics, for instance, or they take it not knowing that they're allergic, but then eventually they develop things like rash and that sort of thing. Is this something that they can contact you about and speak to the center about?
Absolutely. So we would be able to talk to them and figure out what symptoms that they are having and help them determine whether they are having an allergic reaction or not, and then tell them whether they need to contact their physician.
And they ring the same number and do it?
The 1-800-222-1222.
I know that you've been meeting with some of your stakeholders here, or your partners here. EMS, I can see from the paper that you... What are some of the things that you were, can I ask that you discuss on how to go about doing this while you're on the ground? Kathy?
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes, we do have our partners. We have EMS and EMS for Children. And when I was here originally back in 2008, we brought our educational mascot, which is Pinky, which is a pink elephant. And Pinky was very well received. And the EMS and EMSC office then partner with us to get out to schools, get out to various groups, and get the word out. We also have coloring books and crayons. We have video program, and we have materials for parents and family members as well. So we've really, it's been a great partnership to really get that education out. Since we're so far away, we mail the materials periodically, and then they get those out to the schools and out to, I understand Pinky's been to the governor's office even, or the governor's mansion, I should say, and that the First Lady is pretty active with also assisting with that. So that's been a wonderful partnership. We also have the partnership with the hospitals, particularly the emergency department physicians, and the pharmacist. We met with a pharmacist, the lab director, and the physicians at the hospital, so that they can also assist us. If somebody if they need us, they call the Poison Center. But if a family member, if it's something they think that the Poison Center could assist them with, they'll recommend that the family member go ahead and give us a call to the Poison Center. So those are fabulous partners that we work with.
Fantastic. It's great to hear. Now, I'm aware of the fact that you'll be going out to do public awareness. Is that the case? Are you going out
Yes.
to villages?
Yes, we're hoping to be able to, during this trip, get out to the village, get out to a school. We've met with the Department of Education, and we're working on how we can more closely partner with them. The public health folks have been great partners for us, and we're going to be meeting with them as well.
Well, why is it important? Why? I mean, I know this is very important. Why do you think, in your mind, having done this for so long, why do you think it's important for our people here to be aware of this?
It's extremely important for many reasons. First of all, time in a poisoning is so critical. So the sooner that somebody can give us a call and we can ask a series of questions to find out how much were they, if it was a swallowed or an ingested poison, how much do they think the person ingested? How are they doing? You know, what symptoms are they having? We can immediately help them sort that out. So time is very important, because if they need to call 911, we would advise them of that. But sometimes it's a situation where, you know, we can manage that at home, and we can give them instructions, and they don't necessarily have to go in. So we think that, we know that we've saved many lives over the course of, you know, the many years I've been involved. I could tell you many stories about the lives we've saved.
What are some of the common calls, may I ask?
So the common calls would be something, particularly that we receive from American Samoa, are going to be cleaning products. Sometimes cleaning products get mixed together. And that can be a real problem. If you mix bleach, which is something that's commonly used, with an acid or an ammonia containing product, you're going to generate a chlorine or a chloramine gas. So people are experiencing a lot of irritation of their eyes, their nose, they're coughing. If they call us, we can recommend they get to fresh air, we can assess them, make sure that they're okay, and either instruct them to go to the hospital or give them symptoms to watch for. So that's one. Cleaning products are very common. And then the medications also. Just because, you know, sometimes people accidentally take too much, sometimes loved ones maybe intentionally take too much, or drugs of abuse. Though all of those types of calls are unfortunately fairly common. But the good news is that there is somebody at the end of that line who can immediately help them with their concerns and really instruct them on what to do, because that's scary. That can be a scary situation when somebody's exposed to something like that.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is excellent, and I'm glad we get to have this conversation, as I said, because, you know, because I had no idea that this service is available. And I'm sure our people out there who are watching this show tonight are also very grateful of the fact that we have this information now available, and that know that we have this number that we can ring. Angie, from your experience, what are some of the things that have come your way about poisoning? And, have you been receiving a lot of calls? Because I know it's not just American Samoa that you work for. You also you cover other states as well and territories?
Yeah. So in Nebraska, we cover our state in Nebraska, but we also cover the state of Wyoming and Idaho, and then also the Federated States of Micronesia. So we get all kinds of calls from all over the place. Just as Kathy mentioned, cleaners are a really common call that we get. Medication overdoses, medication double doses, taking different medications from the wrong place. Often little kiddos get into things that they're not supposed to. And thankfully, for most situations, those are cases that we can help manage at home and provide a lot of calming support. If a parent is upset or really worried about it, often those things maybe aren't as big of a problem, and then we can help them decide if they need further medical attention, or as Kathy mentioned, good treatment recommendations for the home setting, especially if it's a product that was on the skin or the eyes, helping them to make sure that it's washed really well and really thoroughly, and that also that they're watching for the symptoms that they need to watch for, and then they would know if they need to follow up with a physician or if they need to go to the emergency room if it's something more serious. We do stress with children especially, they can get into anything really quickly, so keeping medications locked up or out of sight and up and away, keeping cleaners safe as well in an area that's locked or out of the way, so that kiddos, childproofing is a huge part of what we do. And Jen and I both answer the phones, and so we help answer those calls and questions, but we also have a role as public education coordinators. And so we go into schools in the States and travel other places as well and give talks to kids in preschool settings up to second grade, middle school, after school programs, and then in the high school settings. And then we do education with older adults too, in areas where maybe they're in a different type of living situation, or just helping them to know that they can call and ask those questions that maybe they didn't think to ask the doctor about. They can ask about side effects, they can ask about if they have a medication that they need to stop, and we can help them understand that they need to talk to a physician to do that safely, or we could help them determine if they were taking it incorrectly and if it's okay for them to still stay at home and what to do next. And so that's another common call that we have as well.
And you're heading out to the community as well with Kathy and Jen as well to do this. What are we hoping to get out of talking to the people out there?
Just what Kathy said, hopefully raising awareness just to know that it's a free and confidential service to the public. That 1-800 number is 1-800-222-1222, and they can call that anytime, day or night, for any reason. If they have a question about medications, about chemicals, about marine exposures, if there's a bite or a sting, or if there's other things, we help with those. We have a Samoan plant reference guide too as well, so even if they don't know the botanical name of a plant, we can help know by the Samoan name and have that reference as well available. We have 24/7 toxicology services available too, so our medical director is also on hand, and several other very experienced toxicology doctors that can help us understand a situation a little better if we're not sure, and multiple references that we look at, and lots of studies that we do.
Fantastic. Yeah. I can see from this piece of information that I have in front of me that the Poison Center has resources available to help with Samoan medicinal plant. How do you do that? Can you tell me that? How do you go about doing that? Do you just advise them on what's available locally? Is that what you mean by that?
Right. We have, there was an excellent reference that was put out of American Samoa several years ago, Samoan plants reference, and we have that available. Right. So if they just know as Angie said, the Samoan name, it's useful to look up the scientific name, and then we have many, many references that will provide us information on the toxicity of plants around the world. So that would be, at that point then, we would be able to advise on whether it's a toxic plant, and if so, what do they need to do? If somebody accidentally ingested the plant, is it something we can watch at home if it's a small amount, or do they need to go to the hospital, or maybe it's not toxic at all? So we're happy to have that reference that we can hopefully customize our care a little bit more for American Samoa.
Look, we're running out of time. Let me just quickly ask. So when they call, what's the sort of information you ask from them? So make sure they have the medication. I'm looking at what you gave me.
Yes.
What else do they need to provide?
So definitely, if they can take the product to the phone with them, and they can give us the full name of the product. If we have many references where we could look it up. If we can't, then we might ask them to read the ingredients off the label. The other things we really need to know are, how is the person doing? Are they having any symptoms? Do they have any medical problems? What treatment have they done so far? Have they washed the skin, for instance? And then also then, how old are they? So we ask a number, how much do they weigh often? We will ask a number of questions to determine, then we assess the situation and determine whether or not it's toxic or not. So we really try to customize our recommendations based upon the situation.
Okay, excellent. Okay, how many calls have you ever received any calls from American Samoa? And can I ask how many calls have you received, if you have any?
Absolutely. We went back for the last 4 years and looked at our call volume between 2019 and 2022, and we received 81 calls during that 4-year period. Some of them involved medications, some of them involved non-medication substances such as cleaning products, various alcohols, other types of products. But yes, so as you can see, we average about 20 calls a year. We're hoping that goes up. We really want to raise awareness so more people call, so we can help more people.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kath. So where are you going to be this weekend? So you're going out to so that I can tell them to be at the center where you're going to be so they can get all the information. So where are you going to start? Have you got the schedule of the villages that you're going out to?
We have the EMS office is assisting us with that. I can't tell you the name of the village,
okay.
unfortunately, but we are hoping that we'll, have that information as we need it. We do know that there's a graduation, I believe, the EMS on Friday night. We're going to be there, so we'll be doing some education with the EMS office. But the villages, I'm not sure yet which villages will be too.
I would say too, though, to contact EMS services if they do have questions for that, but also to know that we have free materials available through EMS as well. So coloring books, all of the informational, and we have stickers and magnets and other things there that they can use so that they can have.
Okay. Thank you so very much for joining us. I do apologize, we're running out of time, but I do want to say once again, thank you for coming to American Samoa and for letting our people know that we have this service available. Because I know for a fact that there's a lot of people out there who are not aware of the fact that you have this amazing service available to them, and they can call for free. Is that right? They can call for free and get the assistance for free.
Yes.
Any final comments, Kathy, before we wrap things up?
I just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Pleasure.
And everybody has been so welcoming and so friendly. We're really enjoying our time here. And yes, just always, even if you're not sure whether you should call or not, feel free to always call. Never worry about it, just always call that number, and we will do our best to help you.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That's Kathy Chekubitz, the director of the Nebraska Regional Poison Center, as well as Jen Roda and Angie Pasho, who are joining us here on our Manual program this evening. Bear with me, let me just quickly wrap this up in Samoan so that people can get the information in our own language. Mo le sila fia lea tu no pento whaafonga mai le mātou talanoanga le nei fiafi. O malo whaalomnia ne pento sisila mai ula tōna malanga mai Amerika mo le whai o se awa onga e whaatatau I vaila au matulanga mo whaapenai o na awhia ele soifua. Pento whaafonga mai mātou talanoanga le nei fiafi. O le iei le hawa nola nei ma whau na whasoswane tua I a awhia a whaututa inga a whaapea o se whala au fo I lele na I tau mawhaina po whala au o le antibiotics ma tulanga mo whapena a ova fo I le inu whala au whaapea o na tutupoi ia mai mwhaenga whapena I lo tino e mwhaila na whala au le lato numera lea pe a whaapea fo I nei te motango sa mai titi inu se whaila se whaafira tai o le whaila au le whamamaila walava ma tulanga mo whapena e mawhaio na wala au le lato telefoni ma so sisi la whawhi tauri ana whiailo soifua. E mawhaio na wala au le lato ofisa o le lato numera leo le tasi varu o lua tasi lua e te wala au iai o na whapena leo na lato so sone atu mo oe. o le whaiunga le mai aso nei, lea o le a o tua i nuu ma whioanga le vaenga le nei, o la whapena mo se awa noa, e tō te tala noa ai, ia a whapea monisi, whamatalanga mwhena, whauso taile tato official EMS, e tu ina tu whamatalanga nuu ma whioanga le a o iai, ia ai mole te minei, ia manu treina, ia lau whaasausaunga Samoa le nei a whiawhi, whaasoi foia.